Hey friends, David Burns with you again, and today I'm going to talk about, my weather is getting worse. These temperatures are not looking good for the next week, maybe next 10 days. I'm down into freezing temperatures in the evenings, and then not really making it above the winter cluster temperature that needs to happen above 50 degrees to break that cluster up. So I'm not really going to be in a good shape to do anything except put my winter bee kinds back on my hives and help them get through this little cold snap. A lot of you have enjoyed my recent videos where I've opened up some hives with the winter bee kinds and I compared the ones that didn't have the winter bee kinds, and you saw the big difference that it made. You had a lot of questions about the winter bee kind that I invented, and I just want to answer all the questions right now. This is what it looks like. It goes on sale August the 1st. It sells out very quickly. It's got insulation. It's got my special recipe that we also make available free on our website. But it also has this special notch in the front here to allow the bees to go in and out and allow ventilation in that winter time as well. So a lot of you have been asking about it. When do I get it? How do I get it? How do I get on a list? You just got to wait till August the 1st. Pull the trigger as fast as you can. Get as many as you get. Get more than you need. I mean, my hives went through about 5 or 6 of these. So you're going to need a lot of them. And that's why we make a recipe for you when you purchase one, and the recipe tells you how to refill it with your own sugar and ingredients as well. I believe in this product so much that I invented that I still personally pour and mix the contents and pour the candy in each one of these. I don't physically make these, but I do actually, once we get them made, they give them to me, and then I pour the candy in them. Because to me, that's the most critical part. So I wanted to clarify that because I know a lot of you have been impressed with what I've shown on these videos recently and you want to get into it. So I'm putting these back on today because my temperatures don't look good at all. My bees will not be flying in these temperatures and I'm worried about it. As you can see here on my cell phone, I'm looking at my WeatherBug app, and you can see that the temperatures aren't that favorable. Yeah, it's going to be sunny, and maybe in the high 40s or low 50s, the bees may break cluster and fly a little bit. I still don't have much out there. And you saw how much brood is in my hives. I have to support that brood with this sugar candy. So I'm going to put some, I like to put a little bit of honey, just a couple of stripes of honey right in the middle before I put them on. And that kind of entices my bees to get up there. And this will help my colonies have the food they need while they're raising this brood. And once we get past this cold snap, maybe we can switch back, take these off and go back to liquid feed. Also, as we go out there today, I'm going to be using a pair of gloves. Now that's been a big question that many of you have left comments about, where I get those blue gloves. And to be honest with you, they're very hard to get. I rarely can buy a new pair. That's how difficult they are. So what I've done is, I think somebody left a comment here on YouTube and they told me about these gloves. And they said they really like them because they come off and on really easily. And they do, they really work well. Now, I'm gonna use them today when we go out there and put my winter bee kinds on. I'll show you a couple of hives. But they seem to have all the neat things that I like about my blue gloves and maybe a little more. But again, I haven't tested them. You know, like in the summer, working bees, will they sting through them? But I do like that the material is not cloth here. It's the same material as down here. I think they're more of a chemical type glove, but I think they're gonna work really good for me and it'll be available to you. So let me do this. Again, I'm not recommended that these, I don't know if these are sting proof or not. I sort of doubt it. I don't want to go on record as saying they're sting proof. I don't think they are. I'm not sure, they might be, but don't take my word for it. Try them out yourself. But certainly, they seem to be the kind of material that's going to really reduce stings on the fingers if it does happen, possibly. But I want you to buy a pair if you're looking for one and try it out and see what you think. Try one. I think they're going to really work good. I'll leave an Amazon affiliate link down below where you can purchase these and give them a try. They weren't very expensive, pretty affordable, and I like how long they come up. I think there were only 2 sizes, And I got the largest ones because I have kind of large hands. But hopefully that'll be one place that you guys can try these gloves and see if that's what you're looking for. Okay, so let's jump into the hive and let's start replacing some winter bee kinds. All right, so let's get this top off. Oh wow, look at this. You can see at today's temperature right now, about 50 degrees, that this colony is clustered. This is a winter cluster. Look how tight they are in the middle there. We're gonna put this winter bee kind on this one because these bees are gonna need that food. I reviewed the videos from the video that I made for you guys about this hive, and they did seem to have some honey throughout the hive a little bit, but nothing really impressive. With the amount of brood that they had, I wasn't real impressed with a lot of stored honey. So I really feel more comfortable going into a 10-day lockdown of this hive because of temperatures to have that winter bee kind back on top of it. It's gonna help a lot. All right, so let's get the top off of this one. I'll just do a couple of them here for you to see what they look like. This is the big hive that ate about 5 or 6 winter bee kinds all winter long. Oh wow, look at that. A lot more bees, not so clustered. So this hive must have, you know, because they have 2 deeps versus the other one having a medium and a super, they're a little more populated, I believe, not so clustered today. I modified an 8-frame. I kind of ran out of my own 10-frame winter bee kind, but I have a lot of 8 frames already poured, and so I just added a little bit of extension of wood on each side to make this fill the gap. Looks a little weird, but it's just something that I wanted to use up some leftover 8 frames that we had, and so I added it. It doesn't really fit perfectly on the top like the normal ones do, but it works. There we go. Boy, I can tell the bees are gonna really enjoy that. Put that brick on there, the cinder block, not gonna get a good propolis seal with the temperatures being cooler, so putting the brick on keeps it from blowing away. Now, if some of you are already facing some very nice warm weathers and this video doesn't really apply to you today, it might apply to you in the future. So no matter where you live in the south or something, next season when you're coming out of winter, this will be a good video for you to refer back to and realize, oh gosh, I need to remember that, because when do I put my winter bee kinds on, what temperatures? And a lot of my Bee Team 6 members actually send me the weather apps on their phone and say, what should I do with my bees? Look at my forecasts. So I thought I'd make a video so you can kind of get an idea of what that is. By the way, Bee Team 6 is a mentorship program that I offer where you can sign up and I can mentor you. You can call me or text me on my personal cell phone. I'll leave a link in the description. I think we've almost filled every spot up. We only take a certain number for this team and it's almost filled, but you can try it and see if you can squeeze in maybe if it's not quite full yet. Another added benefit of some of the work that I do to help new beginners and those of you that need a little more help along the way is I do have a blog. I don't know if a lot of you realize that, but I publish a blog periodically, maybe a couple of times a month. And that blog has vital information on it that might help you in your beekeeping endeavors. I'll leave a link below in the description if you'd like to sign up for my blog. It's free. It kind of promotes some of my videos that might help you. It gives you an idea of what to think about periodically. Bee Team 6 goes a little further in that I really am there to help you and answer every question that you ask me as a Bee Team 6 member. A lot of you are asking me tons of questions on YouTube. I assure you, I wish I could answer every one of them. It is impossible. I cannot answer every question for many reasons. First of all, there's too many. I don't have that much time in the day, sorry. The second reason is you don't always explain, and I don't always know where you live, what country, what state. I don't know what size hive you have, how old your hive is. I don't know anything about your hive. You're asking me questions that would take a lot of information for me to make a comment, a response to your comment. I regret that. It's not going to happen because YouTube is not a place in the comment sections to really get into lengthy discussions about that. Again, I'm wanting to help you. So what I do is I usually select 3-4 questions out of every comment, out of every video that I make, and I answer those questions here on my videos. So maybe you'll be chosen, but if you really are somebody that has to have answers and you don't feel comfortable, I suggest you try for Bee Team 6 so that I can be in touch with you when you need me. So let me go ahead and answer some of these questions. This is from Karen. Karen says, we lost our bees this winter and had a honey super on one of them. The frames are about 75% capped over. Can I harvest the honey? The capped over honey measures about 17%, but the uncapped is about 22%. Sorry that you lost your hives, Karen. It does happen. And like I've said before, I'm not saying that the winter bee kind saves every hive. I don't know if you use the winter bee kind or not, but if they're starving out, the winter bee kind really does save the day to give them food that they need. Now, in your case, you're wondering about what to do with the honey that you have on board. 17% capped over honey is really good. If that 22% honey is capped over, then it probably is good to use too. I may not sell it to customers at 22%, but I would eat it myself. I usually like to be around 20 or lower before I feel comfortable selling it. Otherwise, there could be too much moisture in it, and it could kind of ferment, kind of turn to vinegar. If you're going to get into beekeeping again, or you have other hives that need a push, or you have a package coming or a nook coming, by all means, you could slap those frames filled with honey into those starter hives that you're starting up, and that would give them a big boost in getting started. Next comment is from Tracy. I'm so happy you gave the 50% off the beekeeping classes. I got mine. I'm planning on starting beekeeping next spring. I have already started watching the first video. You are a great teach this far. I can't wait to see how things go. Well, thanks, Tracy. I appreciate that. We had a sale on our classes at 50% off first day of spring. And some of you said, oh, I missed it. I'm so sad. And you cried. But we made this available a couple of days announced before, and that's what watching these videos are so important. You need to watch my videos as soon as they come out, because sometimes we do announce something that's going to happen tomorrow. So I'm pushing you to always click on my videos and watch them as soon as they do come out to take advantage of things that we are promoting. Next question is from Benjamin. Benjamin says, could you make a really basic video on how you pack your smoker in burlap so that it lasts a long time without it spewing ashes and sparks? Well, that is kind of a craft to know how to handle your smoker. I have made that video, Benjamin, so many times, but I'll make it again. I'll include it maybe the next time I'm out there doing my inspection. I'll show you how I like to start it. I got a pretty good method on getting that smoker going with that burlap that will last me hours. It's so cool, a technique that I'll show you. So thanks for that suggestion, Benjamin. I appreciate it. And thank you for asking, and thanks for watching my videos. The next one says, no treatment and a great spring buildup. Would you consider this queen for breeding purposes, or are there other traits that you're looking for? That's referring to the last video I made about how good it looked. I think they had built comb up in the winter bee kind. And absolutely, that queen is a winner. No mite treatments, winter feed, but the hive made it through really well through winter. So the next question would be, how much honey would they make? And I haven't tested that. I didn't take any honey supers on or off of that hive. I ran them all season with only a deep and a medium. I'm always experimenting. So all season, I did not give them any honey supers. Now, had I given them supers, they would have certainly filled them, made a bunch of honey, probably. So I would probably, certainly in my own operations, use this queen again. I think she's a winner. Brood pattern is good. Her traits are good. I thought the hive would be a little aggressive, but they weren't. They were very mild to work. So yeah, this would be a good queen. I think any of you, if I raised queens out of this hive, would want to purchase one. I might do that this year, just for fun. I may raise 60 queens out of there and maybe give them away or something like that, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, the next question is from the unknown beekeeper and homestead. If hives have, I think that's supposed to be dysentery, can comb and boxes be burnt to kill off harmful stuff? Or what do you suggest that we do? Thanks. Well, that's a good question. Dysentery, that's sort of like when bees defecate on their colony, usually on the front of the hive. And it's pretty common to see this coming out of winter. Bees have been cooped up, they're ready to go take a potty break, and they'll defecate on your hive, usually on the front or the top. And when it happens during the winter time, I'm not, maybe coming out of winter into spring, I'm not real concerned about that. If it continues, I would be concerned. So dysentery is just dysentery, but then the cause of it is what concerns us. So it could mean that it could be something like nosema, right? That's when we usually say, oh, that could be nosema. So certainly there is a chance that there could be a problem. And if it is something like nosema, those spores can live in the comb, on the comb, especially if bees poop on your frames and all. It's not a good thing. I would never try personally to clean frames that have been defecated on by bees that could have nosema. I just won't do that. So usually I don't see that in the frames. I just see it on the outside of the hive. As far as burning it and hopefully, like, I guess you're referring to scorching it with maybe a torch, torching the boxes, like burning them. I know with American foul brood, most of us feel that you have to reach a certain temperature to kill the American foul brood spores, that you would actually incinerate the boxes. And that may be probably true for nosema as well. It may take a fire that would have to destroy your boxes. Just burning or scorching the inside may possibly not do it. I don't want to steer you wrong. So to be safe, if your combs and if your frames do show signs of continued nosema and defecation on the inside of your hive, get rid of those frames. You just have to burn them and then put new frames in there. Another comment from Sky High Action Drones. Based on the great condition of the hive, would you be tempted to put another super on at this point? Oh no. And the reason I didn't is because I'm not out of the woods with the temperature yet. I'm not going to be out of the woods at least for another 30 days. Here in central Illinois, we have cold snaps. I just can't afford to put super on. Plus, I usually don't put supers on until there's a good honey flow. Something that's out there where the bees could load it up and fill it up. Right now, that's not going to happen. That would be wasted space. It would cause the heat to go up into my honey super away from the winter cluster. Too early for me yet to put those supers on. That's a good question. And a final question from Cheryl. David, could you consider doing a video on cleaning beekeeping tools, smoker, gloves, and clothes? Well, that's a good question, Cheryl. I'll consider it. Unfortunately for me, I'm not someone who keeps all of my equipment and suits and hive tools looking very tidy. I have attempted long ago when I first started to put my bee suit through the washer. I can unzip my hat and either not run it through the dryer because that veil can melt sometimes, but I can wash my jackets, and I'll just be honest with you, it does no good at all. I can't get the propolis out, it just doesn't clean up good. It would be cleaner, I guess it would smell better, but it doesn't look any better for me to wash them. So I don't bother. I have a lot of bee suits laying around everywhere. I grab them, I put them on, I take them off, I don't clean those. I'm working my own hives, so I don't clean my hive tools from hive to hive. It's probably not a bad idea to do that. I've seen a lot of people that put them down in their smoker and let the heat of the smoker sort of sanitize their hive tools. I doubt if it really does with the spore issue that we talked about earlier. But there are ways that you could clean your hive tools if you really wanted to. Scrape all the propolis and wax off, sanitize it, use some alcohol or something. But for me, as long as I don't have a disease, I'm not really too concerned about my hive tools. And the other question was gloves. Same things with gloves. I don't clean my gloves. The blue plastic gloves that I wear, I have had a buildup of propolis on that. Propolis, that's so thick that I have gotten out some alcohol, like 99% alcohol, and really tried to get a bulk of that off. But it's just a mess, and I usually don't worry about it either. So I'm not the right person to ask. I don't like to spend a lot of time trying to keep all my equipment looking very, very tidy. I know some people, that's important, but to me, it doesn't matter. So if you have different hives that you don't want to transfer contaminated diseases around, if you're concerned about it, just buy another pair of gloves. Just buy another hive tool. I mean, it's not going to break the bank, is it, to have a hive tool for 2 or 3 colonies or maybe for 5 colonies? another hive tool for another hive, pair of gloves for, different yards that you go to. So if I have different yards, and we do, we don't carry the same equipment to the other yards, like the yards that we bring our nukes out of. There's no cross-contamination there, just a safeguard, that's all. And I think that's real advisable. The video that I just made before this one was just very timely for a lot of you, because you let the winter bee kind totally get consumed by the bees, and then they built a little wax up here. And in that video, I show you what to do. And I even show you how to find eggs and what they look like. And it's really good to help you know how to look for eggs and what to do if they build a little wax and comb up in these winter bee kinds. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.